Hello, my dear student. Welcome back to week 12 MySQL session number 1. In this session, we will learn how to retrieve data from the given database. Retrieve means to get the data from the database. So, in the previous weeks, you have learned how to create table, how to store data in a table, and how to store the table inside a database. In this session, we will learn how to get those data from the table. So let me walk you through some PPT slides. Retrieving data. At times, database user might need to retrieve complete or selected data from a table. So after storing the data in a database and in a table, there is a requirement to get those data and to get some good information out of that data. So how can we do this? We need to query the database. We need to query the table to get some rows and columns from the table. So you have to retrieve some selected columns or maybe some selected rows from a table. So what is the select statement? Very important. It is used to retrieve or get the required data from the database tables. Syntax, rule, how to use select statement. So you can pay attention to this syntax. Select all from some table name, and you can also have some condition. Distinct keyword is used to retrieve data which is distinct, which is not repeating. Okay, so distinct specifies that only distinct rows should appear in the result set, or in my result only distinct rows, unique rows should be displayed. You can also indicate columns that you want to retrieve. You can specify the name of the columns which you want to display in the result. Then you have the table name, from which table you want to retrieve the data, and of course you can also specify some conditions. And you can look at this example over here, like select star. That means select all the rows and all the columns from the customer table. Now at the same time, I'm going to show you practically how to do this. So you can switch to MySQL, and most important is we are going to use this database which is already there in MySQL. We are not going to create this database. Okay, it is already there when you install MySQL server. You can just first you can explore this, and you can click on this, and you can also click on tables to see which tables do we have already in this database. So you can see all these tables are already there, and we can fire some query or write some query to get the data. Now there is a customer table. If you want to see the columns, you can click on this and you can see the column names. So like customer ID, store ID, first name, last name, email. Okay, these are all columns which is created in this table. And of course there are some rows. So I'm going to write our first query, select star from customer. So write that, select star from which table? From customer table. But this query will not run. It will not run. It's an error. Why? Because I have not selected this database. So the first step which you have to do is select this database here. So how to select the database? You have to use a command called use, and then the name of the database which you want to use. So use Sakila. Okay, Sakila is the name of the database which I want to use. So write this query and execute, and it is success. And you can also see that this becomes a little bit darker, right? Great. Now we can write our query. Let's write select star from. Now in the Sakila database there is a table called customer, so I can write select star from customer. Is it okay? Select your query and execute, and everything is perfect now, and you will see the result over here with all these columns. As you can see, customer ID, store ID, store ID, and so on. And these are all informations which are, and it's a big table. You can see there are a lot of data which is already stored in this table, right? If you want to select some columns, not all the columns, like customer ID and first name, I just want to display these two information. So instead of using star, you can just say here customer underscore ID, comma, first name, first underscore name. Select your query and execute, and you will see only two columns are getting displayed here. Okay, so this is the result of this. So if you put star, it will display all the columns, and if you want to display selected columns, then you have to give the name of the column. Am I clear with this part? Let's move on to the next PPT. So this query will display all the records from the customer table. MySQL server allows you to display the result of a query in user-defined column headings to provide more clarity and simplicity to the user. Now what does that mean? Okay, let's take an example here. Like you can see here we are displaying customer ID, here we are displaying first name, right? But I want to change that. I want to change this column name when I want to display the result. Okay, like customer first name, something like that. So how can you do that? You can do that by using like select title as, and then single quotes open and close, and the name of the column which you want to display, you can put it over here. So here for this first name I want to display as, and then you can say customer first name. So this is the column which I want to display, so we have to use this as. Okay, so select your query and execute, and look at that, the name of the column has been changed over here. But this is not permanent, this is only in the result. Okay, the permanent column name is first name. So when you use as customer first name, it is just temporary and it is only in the result. Okay, so you can also change for customer ID. So as you can just, let's say customer ID, I want to display like this, put it in single quotes. Great. Select your query and execute. Look at that. Customers. Okay, great. Select. So you can see the column in the result, the name of the column is changed. So this is how you can change, and you have to remember this. Okay, it's a syntax. Let's move on. You can also check this query. You need to do a lot of practice, and also you have to remember the syntax. So let's write this query and let's check the result of this query. Okay, So let's go there, and we can just keep it. Let's write the next query here. Select, okay, star from which table? From film. Do we have film table? Let me show you. Yes, you can see there is a film table. Click on this and click on columns, and you can see there are many columns over here. So select star from film. Select only this query. Don't select this one. Select this query and execute, and you will see all the record, all the rows over here getting displayed, right? But I'm interested in title. I want to display title, that is this one. So let me put that over here. So title, select title from film, select this query, execute. And I want to change the column name now, okay, as a film name. This is what I want to display. So you have to use as single quotes, and then you can say film name. Select your query and execute, and you will see there is a change in the column name. I hope this is clear with you. Let's move on to the next query. So this is the result of this query. Okay. Next topic is where clause. Okay. Where clause will allow you to select some specific rows of the table, specific rows, not all the rows. Okay. So it retrieves rows based on specific condition. So you will have some condition, based on that you can get some rows from the table. As you can see in this query example, select title, length, rental rate from which table? Film. Okay, so let's first write this query, this much part, and then we will see what is the use of where clause. Okay, so let's go here, put semicolon and write your next query. Select, okay, what is that? Title length, title length, rental rate, rental rate from which table? From film table. Okay, select your query and execute, and you will see this three information from the film table: title, okay, length, and rental rate. But you can see here rental rate is, there are many lot of records and there are different rental rates, right? Like 2.99, and above we have 4.99 and so on. So I don't want to display all the records. I want to display only those records whose rental rate is 4.99. So how can I display that? We can display that by using where clause. Okay, so the next line you can write where rental, okay, rental rate is equal to 4.99. Okay, 4.99. So this is the condition which this is my condition. Okay, so let's select and execute the query, and you will see that only records whose rental rate is 4.99 is getting displayed. There is no other record which is getting displayed over here. So this is the use of where clause. You can put some conditions and you can display the result over here. Now if I say where rental rate is less than 4.99, what will be the output? It will display all the records whose rental rate is less than 4.99. Like you can see here, these are all less than 4.99, right? What if I put here greater than? Okay, let's say where rental rate is greater than 4.99. Do we have any record whose rental rate is greater than 4.99? Maybe not. There is no record, empty, right? So this is how you can use where clause to display some specific rows from the table. Let's move on. This is the result of this query. Now next part is using the logical operators. Logical operators which you have learned in C++, C programming, in Java, and also in Linux. So there are basically three types of logical operators such as OR. What do you mean by OR? OR means any condition is true, then the entire expression is true. Or AND means both the condition have to be true to evaluate your entire expression as true. Not is negation. I have already explained you this logical operator in Java. So I'm going to continue with some example. Look at this first example here. Select star from customer where last name is Smith, or means any condition is true, it will display the output. Where last name is Smith or last name is Jones. So let's try this query in our MySQL server. I'm going to delete this and I'm going to write my next query. Select star from customer. Okay, then we can use where last name is equal to Smith, where last name is Smith. So select and execute. So there is one guy whose last name is Smith, and you can see that guy over here. Okay, if I put here OR clause, or you can write your next part of the query, or last name is equal to John's. Okay, select your query and execute, and you will see that there are two people in the result because we are using OR. So this condition is true, it will display the result in my output, whereas John's will also be displayed in the result. Both of them will be in the result because we are using OR clause, right? Next is AND. You can use AND operator. So like I will say first name and last name. Okay, so where first name, let's put here, where first name is equal to Mary and you can use AND operator, and then last name is equal to Smith. So both the condition has to be true to get the result. So if I select my query, I will get one person because her first name is Mary and the last name is Smith, right? Now if I say first name is Mary and last name is Jones, so do we have any guy whose first name is Mary and last name is Jones? No. So it will not display any output. There is no record. And means both the condition have to be true, right? So there is no person whose first name is Mary and whose last name is Jones. Okay, so that is about AND operator. Next is NOT. Select star from customer where not first name is equal to Mary. So if I say select star from customer where, then you can say not. You can use this word not, where not first name is Mary. Okay, so it will display all other records where first name is not equal to Mary. So there is no Mary here now. Okay, apart from Mary, it will display all other records in the table. I hope this is clear with you. Let's move on to the next topic. Using the comparison operators. Comparison operators allows the users to retrieve data from a table based on conditions specified in the where clause. Okay, so you can use comparison operators along with where clause. But you need to remember these comparison operators cannot be used for image or for some text. You can't use comparison operator for text or image. Okay, let's see some examples. Following table describes some of the comparison operators and functions available in MySQL. And you can see this operators like equal to, greater than, okay, less than. So these are some examples of comparison operators. Let's take some example here. So for example, select film ID, title, rental rate from which table? Film table, where rental rate is less than 1. Okay, let's run this query and let's check out the result of this query. So we need to check for film ID, title and rental rate. So let's say select film ID, title, rental rate. From which table? From film table. Okay, so first I am going to do this much part for you. So select and you will see this is the record. But I'm going to put a condition where rental rate is less than 1. Okay, where rental rate is less than 1. So these are the guys, these are the films whose rental rate is less than 1. I hope this is clear to you. Let's move on to the next example. This is the result of this query. The next operator is between operator. Between operator is used to select the records that are within a specified range. Okay, it allows the user to retrieve the records that contains values within a specified range. So you need to specify some range and it will retrieve the record within that range. Now let's take an example for it. Select title, rental rate from film, where rental rate between 0.99 and 2.99. So it will return all the records which are between 0.99 and 2.99. So let's run this record and let's check out the result of it. Where rental rate, okay, then you can write here between 0.99 and 2.99. Okay, so let's select this and execute. And you will see that now most important thing is when you say between this and this, it will display all the records starting from 0.99 and it will also use this value 2.99. Okay, and whatever records are there between this will be displayed in the result. I hope this is clear to you. Let's move on to the next topic. This is the result of this query. Next, the next operator is like operator. Like operator is used for retrieving the records from a table that match a pattern specified in a select query. Pattern, okay, you know what, sometime when you are retrieving a record for some, let's say for some customer name, and you don't remember the complete name of the customer, you just remember some beginning letters, but you don't remember the complete name. So in that case, you can use like operator to search the customer and to display those customers in the result. Now let's take some example for it. This table lists the wildcard characters which you can use with like operator. So when you are using like operator, you have to use a wildcard characters, and there are two wildcard characters. One is this percent sign. It is used to match any number of characters. Okay, so this is used to match any number of characters. Underscore is used to match single character. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Let's move and let's see one example for this. For example, select title from film where title like. Now I forgot what is title. I don't know the complete name of the title, but I remember that there is some F in the middle. Maybe the second letter is F. This is what I remember. So I can write my query like this, like single quotes underscore. Now underscore means only one character, and the next character, that is second character, must be F. And then we are using percent. That means after F there can be any number of character. Percent means it is used to match any number of characters. So after F there can be any number of character, but before F there will be only one character. Am I clear with this? Right. Now let's run this query to see the output. So I will write my query. Select title from film where title, I don't know what is the title, so I will say where title and then like single quotes underscore F followed by any number of characters. Okay, let's select and run this query, and you will see that there are three titles, okay, whose second letter is F. Can you see that here? Second letter is F, and in the beginning there is one character followed by any number of character. Now what will happen if I remove this? It means my title has only two characters, but there is no such title with only two characters, so there is no result here. Can you see that? Right, so no result. You have to say that followed by any number of character, and then you can see the result here. Fine. Now you can play with this. You can say my first character should be A followed by any one single character. Okay, so after that you can say followed by F, or maybe, yeah, so my first character has to be A followed by some character followed by F followed by any number of character. So if I select this and run my query, there is only one record, okay, whose first character is A. You can see that, followed by I don't know, so underscore, that is getting filled with F. The next character should be F followed by any number of character. I hope you have understood how to use underscore and how to use percent, to search some record within table. Let's move on. The next operator is in operator. It is used to specify multiple values from a specific field while retrieving the record. Multiple values. Okay, so you can just say like those student whose age is in this particular from this particular values, like 20, 21 and 22. So you are giving a domain, you are giving a pool of values, and like for example this one here. So select blah 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 from film, from this table, where title in, and then I'm giving some values. So my title can be, African egg, or the title can be Agent Roman, or the title can be Alone Trip. So we just read it like or. We are using this operator in. So the title can be any of this. So we are using in title in this particular values. Okay, we can run this query to show you the output. So let's do it. So select, I'll just put star from film. So let's do that. Select star from film. Then we can just put where clause, where title in, and then you can specify some values. So where title in, the first one is African egg. So let's do that. African space egg, put comma. My next is Agent Truman. Agent Truman. Okay, great. Next one is Alone Trip. Alone Trip. Okay. Now if I run this query, what you will see is all the records, okay, whose title can be African egg, as you can see it is displaying, or Agent Truman, or Alone Trip. I hope you have understood how to use in keyword, or how to use in operator, right? Uh, let's put semicolon and let's say select star from customer table. Let's select this and execute. So that's my customer table, and what I can see is here I have some customer ID, right? Now what I want to do is I want to display the customer where, so I'll just change this, select star from customer, where customer ID, customer underscore ID, then we can use in, open and close bracket. The customer ID should be equal to 31, 32, 30, 33. Okay, so this is how you can select. Okay, I think it is a primary key. Yeah, it's a primary key, so we cannot use that. No, let me check, something is wrong. Customer, yeah, so that's fine, it is working here. So the customer ID can be 31, or it can be 32, or it can be 33, and it is displaying the record. I hope you have understood this operator, in operator, and you can use them when you are querying, when you are querying the table to get some records from the table. Let's move on. This is the result of this query. Okay, you can try them. Next is arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are used in the select statement to perform some calculation, like plus, minus, multiplication, division. So if you want to do some calculation, then you can use the arithmetic operators in the select statement. You can see this table. You can use the word, or you can use the symbol, is okay. You can use, but there is some difference between div and this. It performs the division operation between the two integers and displays the quotient. Okay, whatever is the quotient, it will display that. Like for example, select 7, divide by 2. So if I divide 7 by 2, it will only display the quotient, like 2 3 is a 6. So that is what it is displaying. Now if you use this one, it performs the division operation between two integers and displays the exact quotient value. Okay, it will display the float number like 3.5. You can try this too here. Let me show you how we can do that. So you can say for select 7, then you can say div 2, put semicolon, and you can write your second query also, select 7 divide by 2, put semicolon. Okay, so I'm going to run the first query to show you the result, and you will see the result is 3, and then I'm going to run the second query and you will see the result is 3.5. So you need to remember the difference between these two words or these two operators. They are same, but if you use this, it will only display the quotient which is 3, whereas this will display exact quotient value which is in the float number. Let's see how can we use arithmetic operators inside my query. So you can see this example. Select rental rate from film where title is academic dinosaur. So let's run this query over here. So select, what is that? Rental rate, rental rate from film where title is equal to what is that? Academy dinosaur. I hope this is correct. SAUR. Okay, so let's run this query first and let's show you the output. So that film whose title is Academy Dinosaur, the rental rate, the money you have to pay is $0.99 or yuan, renminbi. But I want to change. I want to increase the money for this film, Academy Dinosaur. For this film, I want to increase the money. So what I can do is I can multiply this column rental rate by 2. Okay, so you can see the result now. So it improves. So 0.99 multiplied by 2 is giving me 1.98. So this is the record. And if this doesn't looks good, you can use as, and then you can say rental rate. You are changing the column name in the result because this is not good, right? It looks weird. So let's select this and execute, and you will see that rental rate is 1.98. I hope you have understood this, and also how you can not only multiplication but also you can use plus sign if you want. Okay, let's select and execute. So 2.99, whatever, you can use any other arithmetic operators inside query. Okay, this is the result of this query. Now let's talk about the next topic, which is limit clause. Limit clause allows the user to limit the query result that falls within a specified range. That means you can restrict how many records you want to retrieve from the table. Okay, how to use that? You can use limit skip count. That means how many records you want to skip, you can put that over here, comma, how many records you want to retrieve. So both of them can be used. Let's take an example. Select film ID title from film. Okay, limit 5. So you can use two values. First let me show you with one value and then we will check for two values. So let's see this example here. Select, so here I am going to say select star from which table? From film table. Okay, and then we have to say limit 5, put semicolon, or just select your query. So what this limit will do, it will help me to display only top 5 records from the table. If I don't use limit, it will display all the records, and there are many of them, right? But I don't want to display all the records. I want to display only top 5 records from this table. So I can use this syntax limit 5. So select and execute. So it displays the top 5 record. But I don't want to display these 2 records. I want top 5 starting from 3. So I can skip 2 records. So I can put 2 comma 5. So what it will do, it will skip 2 records, and it will display 5 records starting from 3. Okay, so select and execute, and you will see that starting from 3 it is displaying up to 5 records, and it has skipped 2 records, the top 2 records it has skipped. So this is how you can use limit. Okay, I hope you have understood this. Let's move on to the next topic. Our next topic is copy. How to copy data. Okay, so the data from an existing table can be either inserted into an existing table or into a new table. How to do that? You can look at this syntax. Insert into, this is a new table, any new table, and then select some column from some table. So let me show you how we can do this. First of all, I'm going to show you select staff from customer table. Okay, and you will see that this is my table, but I want to copy all the records from this table to a new table. So how can I do that? I can do that by using insert into. Okay, and I'm going to say, give a name to my new table. Insert into new customer. CUST customer. So insert into new customer, select star from customer table. So select your query and execute. Something is wrong. What is that? Sakila, new customer does not exist. Okay, we need to create this table. Okay, let me do that. Give me a minute. So to complete this, we have to first create this table, or if I want to copy the data from this table to some new table, so first we need to create that table. So let's do that. Let me try for you. So create table. Okay, and let's say new customer, open and close bracket. Now I'm not going to create all the columns. I will just create few of them, like customer underscore ID, data type is int, then next is store underscore ID, data type is int, only this much, and of course we can use the first name, first underscore name is equal to varchar, let's say 45. Okay, so that's my table. Let's select and execute. So my table is created. You can refresh here to check. Yes, my table is created. You can see new customer. Right now we can copy. So let's copy. So insert, how to copy? You have to say insert into the new table, that is new underscore customer. Okay, then write your select query, select. Now in this table there are 3 columns, yes or no? So you need to select only 3 columns. What are those 3 columns? Customer ID, so select customer ID, comma, the next one is store ID, so select store ID, comma, the next is the first name, so select first name. From which table? From the customer table. Now what it will do, it will retrieve all the records of these columns from this table, and it will copy into this new table which I have created. Okay, so let's select and execute, and it is success. You can see here. How to check? Yes, we can check it. We can write a query, select star from new customer. Okay, select your query and execute, and you will see that all the records from this table, only these columns, have been copied, or we copied into new table, that is new customer. I hope you have understood how to use how to copy data from one table in a new table. You can also do this by using replace. Okay, you can try this by yourself. So here what he's doing is he's creating a new table. As you can see, new create table, new customer. He's creating three columns, and then he's selecting this three information from this table and he's storing in this table. Okay, you can try this. It is almost similar what I have shown you here. Okay, now your assignment. This is what you have to do. Look at this assignment. You are a database developer, okay, at Rock's luxurious hotel. The management wants to view the name, email, city, and URL of all the 4 and 5-star hotels in Albania. In addition, the query should display only the first 10 records that meets the given criteria. How will you accomplish this task? Now you need to complete this task, and first you have to create a table with these columns like name, email, city, URL, okay, with all this information. And also of course you have to say star, whether the hotel is a 5-star or 4-star. So you need to create the table, and then you have to insert maybe 20 records, okay, and then you have to write a query to retrieve or to display the first 10 records from that table. So please do this assignment. It will give you a good practice, and along with this I want you to practice all these queries which I have discussed in this session. Let's see what we have done in this session. In this session we have learned about how to use select statements, okay, how to use where clause. um, then we discussed about arithmetic operators. We discussed about limit clause, how to use limit clause in the select query. That's all. So that's all for this session. Thank you very much for listening. See you in the next session.